27-year-old Brett Carlin, this man right here, posted online showing him speeding past authorities. In some cases, he was lane splitting extremely close between those passing vehicles.
The clip looks like every other viral car video on your feed. Speedometer sweeping past 180, sirens somewhere way in the background, a driver laughing behind the camera. Except this one doesn't end with a like button. It ends with a mugshot, a grand jury indictment, and a judge reading out charges that can actually put you in prison. This is the viral street racing trend that's getting YouTubers locked up. Before we dive into the crashes, court dates, and careers on the line, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss our deep dives into the wildest stories in the automotive world. Let's start with what has actually changed. For years, street racing stayed out of public view. It was something people did on empty industrial roads or long stretches of highway when no one was around. Most of the time, it existed as a few grainy phone clips shared on small forums or buried inside private groups. It wasn't organized content and it wasn't designed for an audience. Today, it operates very differently. Street racing has become something people film intentionally. Creators plan shots, create thumbnails, choose music, and treat the entire experience like a piece of entertainment. Somewhere along the way, risky driving turned into a video format, and a lot of people online began treating it as a shortcut to fast growth. This is where reality shows up in a way some of these creators weren't prepared for. Law enforcement has started using the same platforms creators rely on. Instead of trying to catch someone doing high speeds in real time, officers now review the footage that is publicly posted. They look at street signs, buildings, timestamps, and even the way a speedometer reflects in the glass. In some cases, they use social media to map entire routes and then present the videos as evidence in court. New York City is one of the clearest examples of how this shift is playing out. Over the past few years, a group of anonymous drivers has been uploading late-night runs through Manhattan and the surrounding boroughs. The clips show high-performance cars weaving through traffic and moving at speeds that instantly raise questions. The uploads are simple and usually avoid showing faces or anything that could easily identify the drivers. The footage is meant to stand on its own. A Wired investigation focused on two creators from that group who go by Squeeze and Mbox. Their channel grew quickly because they kept everything minimal and anonymous. They focused on point-of-view driving and posted it without commentary or personality-driven intros. For viewers, the draw was the rawness of the material. The videos looked like unfiltered recordings rather than produced entertainment, which made them stand out in a niche where most creators rely on flashy branding. For a while, it seemed like the law couldn't keep pace with what they were doing. Then, it finally did. Officers in New York and New Jersey eventually arrested a suspect they believe was behind the Squeeze Benz persona, linking him to multiple high-speed chases that had been posted online for everyone to see. In a separate case, Squeeze was later sentenced to 5 years in prison on unrelated charges. It served as a reminder that once someone's name enters the system, every past stunt starts to look less like entertainment and more like a pattern a prosecutor can work with. And this isn't something happening only on the East Coast. On the other side of the country, in Southern California, 3 Orange County YouTube personalities learned that the comment section isn't the only group paying attention. According to prosecutors, the trio spent months organizing illegal races on toll roads like the 241 and 261. They filmed themselves pushing past 160 miles per hour, edited the clips into highlight reels, and uploaded everything for their viewers. It didn't stay online for long. After a 6-month investigation, Irvine police arrested the drivers, and the Orange County District Attorney charged them with multiple felonies, including conspiracy to engage in street racing. One of the creators has already been sentenced and is currently wearing an ankle monitor instead of serving time behind bars. It is a strange kind of full circle where the same digital world that built their audience is now the reason they have to check in with the justice system every day. And if you think that sounds extreme, Arizona has entered the chat. In 2024, state officials say a motorcycle influencer named Brett Carlin started treating Phoenix freeways like his personal test track. Videos posted to his channel showed him blasting past traffic at over 180 miles an hour, weaving between cars while police cruisers with lights and sirens tried and failed to catch up. According to the Arizona Department of Public Safety, tipsters recognized the bike and the riding style from those clips and passed the information along. Investigators pulled the footage, matched it to specific nights, and brought the whole package to a grand jury. Carlin was indicted on multiple counts of reckless driving and unlawful flight from law enforcement, arrested, and released on a $20,000 bond while he waits to see if those viral runs are going to cost him his freedom. Head northeast and you'll find a similar story, this time on quiet 2-lane roads in Connecticut. In 2025, police say Giovanni Petrucciello, a luxury car dealer and influencer, filmed himself driving a Porsche 137 miles an hour through a 25-mile-per-hour zone, and in another clip, running a Lamborghini to 112 on a 45-mile-per-hour stretch while blowing past stop signs in multiple towns. The videos went up, the audience reacted, and then state troopers started retracing his route frame by frame. Once they were done, he was arrested on 7 counts of reckless driving and 3 counts of reckless endangerment, with the judge setting his bond at $150,000. Those high-speed pulls didn't just stretch the speedometer, they stretched his legal risk into something most creators never imagine when they hit upload. And it's not only big-name influencers who are getting caught in this new feedback loop between social media and law enforcement. In California's Bay Area, a YouTuber from Concord built a following by posting videos of himself weaving through traffic at extreme speeds on local freeways. California Highway Patrol officers sat back, watched the channel, and methodically turned those episodes into a case file. By 2023, he'd been convicted of multiple counts of reckless driving based almost entirely on his own uploads. When you zoom out, a pattern appears. 10 years ago, viral street racing clips felt like rare one-off moments. Just a kid with a GoPro and a bad idea. Now it's a business model. Creators plan multi-camera shoots, tease insane runs in advance, and drop limited edition merch behind every big stunt. The faster and sketchier the drive, the better it performs in an algorithm built to reward anything that makes people stop scrolling. So the logic starts to warp. A normal person hears 180 miles an hour and thinks, that's insane. A creator who's already pulled 150 on camera thinks, if I don't top that, my next upload is going to flop. And here's the ugly truth. Sometimes the upload does flop, but the consequences don't. For investigators, these uploads are a goldmine. They show the speed, time of night, weather, mile markers, and even the gas stations and freeway signs flashing by. Platforms are reacting, but never as fast as the clips spread. YouTube bans dangerous and illegal activities. TikTok and Instagram say they pull content that promotes crime, and some creators do lose monetization or even whole channels. But a video can rack up millions of views and inspire copycats long before a moderator sees it. By the time the takedown lands, the stunt has already done its job for the creator chasing clout and for anyone trying to imitate them. Meanwhile, local communities bear the consequences. From Los Angeles to Atlanta, police report surges in illegal sideshows and street takeovers. Hundreds of cars blocking intersections, firing fireworks, and spinning donuts while crowds film on their phones. Neighbors just hear rev limiters bouncing. What they don't see is that someone 3 blocks away is live streaming it to tens of thousands of people. So, where does all of this leave the creators who made their names in the car niche? Some are pivoting. After seeing what happened to Alex Choi, a YouTuber charged by federal prosecutors after allegedly directing a video where fireworks were launched from a helicopter at a speeding Lamborghini, plenty of automotive channels quietly pulled back from real-world stunts. In that case, the Department of Justice accused him of placing explosive devices on an aircraft, a charge that carries up to 10 years in prison. The video was deleted, but the indictment didn't disappear with it. Others are doubling down on a different kind of risk. The anonymous swimmers in New York told reporters that they're now trying to go legit by building a brand that can survive without illegal runs, selling merch, moving into sim racing, even dreaming of getting sponsored by major companies. At the same time, they admit that their entire image is built on the tension between danger and anonymity. The moment that driving becomes safe, a lot of the audience loses interest. Then there are creators like the Arizona and Connecticut influencers, who are now stuck in limbo. Their channels are still up, their videos are still circulating, but every court date is a reminder that those uploads aren't just entertainment anymore, they're exhibits. When prosecutors roll a montage of your greatest hits on a giant screen in front of a jury, it stops being a highlight reel and becomes a story about intent, about recklessness, about whether you cared who else was on that road when you pinned the throttle. And this is where the trend gets genuinely scary, not just for creators, but for viewers too. Because the more we click, the more we comment, the more we share, the clearer the message becomes. This is what we want. Not a well-shot review at the speed limit, not a carefully controlled track day. We want the tunnel pull at 3 a.m. with the tack bouncing off red line and the driver laughing at how close they came to clipping that semi's bumper. We want the near miss. The platforms see that watch time and reward it. Creators see the reward and chase it. Law enforcement sees the chase and eventually makes an example out of somebody. So what happens next? That depends on who blinks first, the platforms, the law, or the audience. If the money dries up, the trend dies on its own. If the penalties keep climbing, some creators are going to decide a few million views aren't worth a criminal record. And if viewers finally get bored of near-miss compilations, the algorithm will quietly follow them somewhere safer. Realistically, we're probably going to see more of these high-profile takedowns before the trend slows down. Cities are experimenting with harsher penalties, long-term impounds, crushed cars, felony enhancements for organizers, and even laws that make simply blocking an intersection or filming for social media part of the crime. In some states, prosecutors can stack charges like conspiracy, unlawful assembly, and aiding and abetting on top of reckless driving counts if they can show that a whole crew helped set up or film a race. Task forces in places like California and Washington now monitor hashtags and group chats, the same way they monitor police scanners, rolling out to shut down meets before the first burnout even starts. At the same time, the car community itself is starting to split. Some drivers and creators are looking at all these arrests and deciding to go back to basics. They rent tracks, pay for safety crews, and keep the racing away from public streets because they don't want to gamble their futures on a video. And then there's the other group, the ones who have never stepped foot on a drag strip and don't plan to because the appeal is the illegality itself. It feels like a real-life video game until the moment reality shows up with fines, charges, and a phone call nobody wants to make. If you're a fan, it puts you in a weird position. You might love cars, the sound, the builds, and even a little bit of chaos. But every click is a vote. And lately, too many of those votes are going to videos that end with court dates, wrecked highways, and real people dealing with the fallout. This street racing trend isn't just about horsepower. It's about how far people will push themselves when the camera is on and the algorithm rewards risk. A lot of these creators grew up watching Ken Block drift within inches of danger in carefully controlled gymkhana shoots. They tried to recreate that energy on public roads with a couple of GoPros and none of the safety net. And if there's one thing all these cases show, from the anonymous swimmers in New York to the Orange County toll road racers to the influencers doing 180 in Arizona, it's this. You can blur a plate or hide a face, but you can't outrun a video that never stops playing for the people whose job is to make sure your next race happens in a courtroom instead of on camera. So what do you think? Are these arrests an overreaction from cops who don't understand car culture? Or is this finally the moment someone pumps the brakes on a trend that was always going to end badly? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And while you're there, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our stories shaping the automotive world. Tuna No Crust signing off.